Ba-da-ba-da. Week number 8 in the National Football League featuring World of Matchups, Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm your host, Dexter Reid. On the other side, my A1 from day one and producer of WOM. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Mr. Spencer the Wiz. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, before we start, I got to talk about the Raiders. You know what? I actually think it's not going to go how I think most people would. I've said this consistently. I think Raiders fans are some of the worst fans in the entire NFL. I think there's some of the most emotional, least informed, casual fans out there. Like, I think most Raiders fans only watch the Raiders. Like, I think that's pretty safe to say. Like,
That's
they don't
fair.
really understand what's happening outside of the team. You know what? I think Ashton Genty said it best. He said there's been a losing culture here for a long time. He's 100% right. Every time we lose a game, we can't just say we want to fire everybody. That's the stupidest. That's what they've been doing for 20 years, and that's why we're at where we're at. This is a smorgasbord of regimes stitched together, and you only have really the garbage pieces left of it. There are so many deficiencies on this team. One of the worst rosters in the NFL. And yeah, here's the thing. It does suck to get blown out. It's not fun. It's not fun to watch. It's miserable. But at the same time, you lose by 50 points. You lose by 1 point. It goes as one loss in the column. And their season's over. I understand that. I'm not like delusional. I'm not going to say they're going to turn it around after the bye week. But I think we all collectively just have to chill. It sucks when you have to hear the words, it's going to take 3 years of rebuilding to get to a place of winning. That's just the reality of it. You know, I was getting in an argument with a casual fan on Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, if we had a better coach, we'd be in a better spot." I'm like, "Let's put Andy Reid on the Raiders right now. What would their record be?" He said they might
Be
have one more win,
one more win.
and I said, we're one blocked field goal away in the Bears from being at the record that you said Andy Reid could take this team to. So let's put that into perspective. Think about it like that. Think about it like that. If we had the best coaching situation in the entire NFL, it would probably equate to one more win. I think that tells you everything you need to know about the Raiders. It sucks, man. I hate waiting. The NFL offseason is long, and I'm telling you, you have to wait that 3 times. That's the only way this team is going to get turned around, man. This team is so bad from a structural standpoint. And the one thing that I'll say to finish off that I appreciate is that Mark Davis has disappeared. And that is good for this team. Mark Davis is an emotional owner. And I think they finally said, dude, you're going to have to watch this team suck. And you're just going to have to like not be rage baited by the fans to just blow it all up again.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wait to see what happens, man. Pete Carroll, yes, he's old, but he's a great coach and he's got a lot of experience. No one's going to come in and fix this team in a season and suddenly they're going to compete in the AFC West.
No.
And I guess I have one more last thing. It's so hard to just come in and turn a team around. Think about Dan Campbell. I think they won 3 games in his first season. Think about the Broncos. They were terrible under Sean Payton's first year. And now look at both of those teams. I'm not even saying that's going to happen with the Raiders. All I'm saying is that you have to give these guys a chance before you blow it up all over again.
Winning in the National Football League equates to being patient. I mean, there's 2 teams that come to mind where I hear your frustration coming through. I mean, I totally get it, man. I understand it. And you guys who are watching, you guys got to understand that, like, we live here in Las Vegas. We're AFC West guys, but Spencer is a Raider fan. He's a Raider diehard. So you're wondering why, we're getting all this Vegas rhetoric, before we even start handicapping. And that's why, and I get it. Think about what the Lions did, how they brought in Dan Campbell and traded for Goff, and they won like 1 game. Think about that resurgence and what it took, and then getting a disgruntled Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then you draft Sam Laporta, and nobody is, in on that, and all of a sudden you get J-Mo, and, the dissension with him, and he's on again, off again, but, and then all of a sudden you find yourself 1 game away from the Super Bowl. That's kind of what it takes. What Spencer's talking about, I've been through. I remember 2012 like it was yesterday when like they were wearing black to Arrowhead Stadium and Scott Pioli was worrying about candy wrappers and Matt Castle was falling off built off chairs and you know what I mean. Like 2-14, guys. That's what it takes to become a winner in the NFL. You cannot be a 7-win team year in and year out and expect to ever win a ring, because you'll never be bad enough to get a franchise quarterback, which is what it takes to win. I mean, every now and then you'll get a Nick Foles and a Brad Johnson, but guys, without a franchise quarterback, you're not winning a Super Bowl.
You can't
Period.
bank on that to happen.
Period. End of statement. Guys, that happens once every 20 years. It's just not going to happen. And so I hear your pain. I hear your frustration. I mean, I don't want to keep saying I told you so, or I'm telling you so, or victory lap anything, because, I'm not trying to like make myself look good off anyone's misfortune. I'm a Chief fan. I hate the Raiders, but I've been where you are. And what it takes is a 2-14 season, followed by a 3-13 season, followed by a 4-12. That's what, and you build your team, and you're on your way. Brock
And you
Bowers,
keep the staff around.
or right, you bring in a guy and let him bring in that staff. Like, why the Raiders haven't given Eric Bieniemy a call at this point is mind-blowing to me. You say, Bieniemy, this is your team. Bring in your staff. You have 3 years. That's what you need to do. We will not get in your way. Run this team. This is a guy who is a proven OC, who has done wonders in this league, and for some reason or another just cannot get a chance. And there's a perfect opportunity here in Vegas. You have a beautiful stadium. You know what I mean? And it's just a place to come and gamble and maybe go to a game. There's zero winning culture, and it takes a winning head coach, and it takes a winning quarterback to do that. And until that happens, man, the Raiders are just going to Raider. And I don't know how many times I got to say it. You will not ever win a Super Bowl ring in this league the way the NFL is constructed without a franchise quarterback. Sell out to get him. You saw what they did with Mahomes. They traded their future to get Mahomes because they saw something they liked. Maybe your scouts just aren't good enough. I mean, there's plenty of good quarterbacks in America. They were watching Mahomes as a sophomore at Texas Tech. Or go get your Goff. You know what I mean? Go get your Goff. There's a Goff in the NFL right now on a team that doesn't want him. That's a decent player. I believe the Lions would have gone to the Super Bowl, and they would have probably won that Super Bowl if Dan Campbell wasn't an idiot. I mean, you get one chance at this, fellas. You know what I mean? So we don't want to go on and pontificate. I get it. Spencer, I'm there with you, man, because I've gone through it. I've lived it. People think that I showed up when Mahomes showed up. Dude, I was doing this long before that. You know what I mean? Like, I was getting kicked out of bars. I'm on paper because of my team. Like, beat up, tears. No, you can't tell me nothing, man. The Priest Holmes fumble, Lynn Elliott, you know what I mean? Blackout error. I've seen it all. And so I've earned what I'm going through now. And I hope that one day, like, you get to experience it. I always would just say, man, just give me one before I die. I got 3. I'm overpaid. One day, hopefully, you guys get to experience that. But it's not going to happen with Geno Smith. And it's not going to happen with Kenny Pickett. Go get a quarterback. Let's roll the slate. We got a lot of guys on bye this week. Spencer, cue the music. It'll be a quicker show. We already talked enough about losers, so let's make you guys some winners. Last week, both of us had decent weeks, 9-5 for both of us, 55-45 on the season for me against the spread, 47-53 for Spencer against the spread.
I'm coming.
Set it off.
All right, let's hop off. It will be a little bit of a short episode because now we're getting to those like big bye weeks. You know, not a few teams, it's like 5 teams.
Yeah, this is the guillotine bye week.
This is the stink bowl right here, man. This is the New York Jets. They're going to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. I felt like I went very unconventional last week, and I benefited from it. I'm going to go unconventional again. And it doesn't make sense, but I'm going to take the New York Jets. If you look, there's 2 factors in this that make me want to take the Jets. The Jets have actually been stupidly close to winning a lot of these games. I mean, you think back to the Buccaneers game, you think back against the Broncos, they couldn't get like 20 yards or something like that to get into field goal range. And the Cincinnati Bengals are coming off of the most high performance of the year and a shootout against the Steelers, everyone's going to think, and they could, obviously, everyone's going to think that the Cincinnati Bengals, I think this is going to be, it feels like a ticket buster game. Joe Flacco's in. He's a monster. He's going to get things going for them. And Joe Burrow's going to come in after this team's like hovering around 500 with Joe Flacco. I'm not saying the Bengals are going to lose this game. I don't think the Jets are going to go 0-17. And so there's got to be something funky. And I think it is just set up for this game to be weird. 6.5 is a lot of points for a team in the Jets that have been closer against better teams like the Bucs and the Broncos. And now it's just going to be all sunshine and rainbows for the Cincinnati Bengals, who have stunk for like the entire year. I don't know. Something is off about this game for me. I like the New York Jets in this one.
I can't do it, man. I've bet the Jets a couple times this year, and they've burned me every time. I haven't won a cover with the Jets at all season long, man. And I'm no lumber of the Cincinnati Bengals, but let's be honest here, man. You know, we laughed when they brought Flacco in, and, you know, last week they put up a gang of points. You know, Chase Brown actually had a decent day.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't in the box, but 100-yard rushing opens things up for everyone, man. Chase, Higgins, you saw what they're doing with Noah Fant in the middle. They're not bad, guys. Now, do I think they're going to make it to the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs, and Joe Burrow is going to be this Superman human savior that comes back and takes them to the promised land? Absolutely not. But they're home, they can score points, and the Jets are deplorable, man. I'm starting to think for the first time the Jets may not win a game this year. Justin Fields stinks, Tyrod Taylor stinks, and he's hurt, and he may start. Garrett Wilson is out. Breece Hall is questionable and banged up. Guys, how are they going to score? Aaron Glenn is just keeping the bed warm for someone else. That's another franchise. Guys, go get a franchise quarterback. Go draft a franchise quarterback. Okay.
It's funny that they did, and they let him walk.
And I'm a Justin Fields truther, but I'm kind of off it now. I really wanted to give this guy his fair shot. It's his team. They gave him a shot. He's horrible, dude. He's horrible. Justin Fields is horrific. Justin Fields, honestly, if he wants to stay in the NFL, should switch positions because he's not a quarterback. Okay, Justin Fields is Black Taysom Hill. That's who he is. He's not good, man. And so for all intents and purposes, you know, we're here to try to make you a couple shekels. I cannot in my right mind take the Jets. I mean, I hear what Spencer's saying. You know, they're not going to go 0-17. Guys, they might, man. They might.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to keep Breece Hall on this team. None. The deadline is November 4th. Trade this guy and get whatever you can for him. Braylon Allen will be back. Isaiah Davis is okay. You're not winning with Breece Hall, so why keep him? He's going to walk anyway. Get something for him. I still think he's going to be a Chief, a Charger. He's going somewhere to get a ring. He's going to be a nice rental. And if he does well, someone will pay him. No Garrett Wilson. How are they going to stretch a field? You're telling me that these other bums, Mason Taylor's a rookie? I can't see it, man. I just can't see it. I think the Jets get blown out here personally. I really do, man. Cincinnati could score. And Trey Hendrickson is back in the fold. I know his hip's been bothering him. He's going to play. And so you'll have your disruptor there. It might stay close for a minute, man, but you're only laying a tutty. I trust the Bengals here more than I trust the Jets. I trust the next morning after eating Taco Bell more than I trust the Jets here, man. I can't do it, and I'm not about to start. Bengals -6.5 is the play. Touchdown wins you money.
All right, let's hop over. It's the Buffalo Bills. They are going to Carolina to play the Panthers, and the Bills are -7.5. Carolina's been playing really well recently, and as crazy as it is to say, it has a lot to do with Bryce Young. I mean, he hasn't been amazing, but he's played well, and he's really kept the engine running for them. Just playing well enough, getting what they need out of him. It feels like he's turning more into a game manager. I mean, I know he went nuclear, in a sense, against Dallas, but everybody does.
Everybody does.
Yeah, it's like that's
Dallas's
your time to get your stats
sucks.
in. So
Yeah.
other than that, he's just been okay. but he's out. I mean, he's not going to play in this game. I'd be shocked. He hurt his ankle, and so in comes Andy Dalton. And I've been burned by the Bills a couple times, and I've gone against them too in certain spots, like when they played the Patriots. But I don't know, man. It's Andy Dalton. He stinks, and he's just getting a year older every year. Nothing about them. I think they're just going to stack the box against Rico Dowell and just say, "All right, Andy Dalton, I need you to do something." I just don't see that happening. I mean, I know he's been there for a while and he's comfortable, and everybody seems to be, making their strides. But from what I saw last week, he has no connection to Tetero McMillan. Is he going to just start diming it up to Xavier Legette? I don't think so, man. I mean, I know 7.5 is a lot, but I just think without Bryce Young, I think they just lost that spark that's going to keep him going. And I think the Bills really need this one, man. They need a feel-good game. I've said that a few times this year and they haven't done it, but I think they just feel the footsteps from the Chiefs coming. And I feel like they're going to be ready for this game. If it was against Bryce Young, I'd be thinking differently, as crazy as that is to say. But with it being Andy Dalton leading this team, I think the Buffalo Bills can win this game by like 10 points.
They need to. They're in bad shape. I'm taking
Yeah.
the Bills minus 7.5 as well. Chiefs next week at home, big game. You don't want to overlook them. That's always must see TV, and quite frankly, Kansas City's going to be ready for that game. They're ready for whatever right now. The Chiefs are ready to go back to the Super Bowl. As crazy as that sounds at 4-3, they are ready. And so, coming off a bye, this is the Highmark Stadium farewell tour. The Cinderella hasn't really had the slipper fit on the foot the way you would like it to for the Buffalo Bills so far. They've been in a lot of close games. They lost a bad game at home to the New England Patriots, who can't score. You got to go into Carolina here, and you have to ether this team minus their leader. Andy Dalton is old as Joe Biden. He's not very good. If he was any good, he would be a starting quarterback still. I mean, guys like him and Kirk Cousins, man, they're not for long in this league. And we'll talk about Cousins here in a minute. But I just don't see the connection either. I watched that game last week. I think the best chance that the Carolina Panthers have here is to just employ the two-head monster of Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle and try their best to keep Josh Allen on the other side of the field, because they are looking to score a lot of points here. And I think they will, man. I think they're going to win this game going away, 31-20, something like that. I think the Bills' defense is very suspect, but they're going to have to stack the box here and dare Andy Dalton to beat them, which I think will be a winning recipe. I think you're going to have to see MVP Josh Allen more than I just got married Josh Allen. Guys, married Josh Allen sucks. Single Josh Allen was awesome. Married Josh, dude, ask your
He's
wife
been
for your...
domesticated.
Dude, she neutered you, man. Ask your wife for your nuts back. Because married Josh Allen sucks. I serve a bunch of Bills fans every week. They come in and they say the same thing. They're like, he hasn't been the same since you got married. So we need to see Bachelor Josh Allen tomorrow to cover this 7.5, and I think we will. Carolina's been good, man, but they're not great. And again, Andy Dalton's the X factor here, man. I mean, Andy Dalton versus Josh Allen, you're only minus 7.5, really. Bills should win this game by 10 points. Feed James Cook like a wild animal, and you're going to run away with this game. Bills minus 7.5 is the play.
All right, we'll go into a game that's just kind of gross. Seems, preseason would have been great on paper. It's the 49ers. They're going to Houston to play the Texans. The Texans are minus 1.5. This is a tough one to call. If it's an easy 49ers win, if they're healthy, they're just so beat up, man.
Well, both teams.
But if we're being honest, man, the Texans are not good. They just stink. They had one good game against the Titans. It's like this should be a game that the Texans win because the 49ers are so beat up, but it's like I'm watching these guys play on the field and they're bad. You know what I mean? Like they are actually bad. And so I can't take the Texans in good consciousness. It looks like the 49ers have figured out just a dumb little way to win games, run the ball 1,000 times, kick field goals, and every once in a while you break through for a touchdown. You just George Kittle, touchdown. You score 20 points. Texas scored 10 points, or 17. Something silly like that, just a healthy CMC just gets this team going just enough, you know? They've won some ugly games this year, but then you look at the scoreboard and they're like won the game pretty comfortably. It's kind of what they've been doing recently. Mac Jones just kind of throws an interception here, but then he throws a touchdown. CMC gets a touchdown, and that seems to be all that they really kind of need out of it. And there's not really too much to this game other than the fact that the Texans just aren't a well put together team, and they shot themselves in the foot. They like had this really exciting run, and they kind of just let the team slip, like through their own volition, like trading players away and just not adding anything. It's just they're letting guys fall off, and it's in a time when they should be capitalizing and doubling down on stuff. They're just like it feels like a soft rebuild, and I don't really get it. And so I have no confidence for them to just win a game just because they're at home. Like I've seen this team lose everywhere. There's nothing really exciting about them. So I'm going to take the 49ers here plus 1.5.
I'm going to take the Texans plus minus 1.5 at home. 49ers are too banged up for me, man. I don't know. They're just. I know they got Kittle back, but he had no targets last week, no receptions. I mean, it was a horrible showing. This is what I know about the Texans, man. Anytime I bet them at home, their defense shows up in a big way, especially in the playoffs. I'm just going to take a shot. I know they're bad, but there's a couple of things here that make me feel like they'll have a shot at winning this. And number one is their defense. Number two is Woody Marks. I like this kid, man. A couple weeks ago, I was singing his praises, and then they came out and didn't use him at all. They refused to use him. Now they're saying that they're seeing him more than just a passing down back. The kid can run between the tackles too, man, and he catches everything that's come his way. I like him a lot. Dalton Schultz will be just as good as I think George Kittle will be in this game because they have no wide receivers because Nico Collins is concussed. Christian Kirk's got the hammy. I mean, they're looking at two rookies starting wideouts. I mean, they're in bad shape, man. They're just in so bad shape. It makes no sense that they would be favored in this game. But for some reason they are, man, and I think it's because they're home and their defense is better than the Niners' defense. There's going to be no real pass rush on C.J. Stroud, because Bosa is out. Warner is out. I mean, they're decimated, man, and this is going to be the type of game where everybody thinks that the Niners should just go in there and be good enough. Kid will have a huge bounce-back game, and CMC will do what he's always done, and they'll win this game by 4 or 5 points. But I'm going to take the Texans here. I think they're going to be all over Mac Jones. I think the defense will find their way into a pick six. I think something big is going to happen in the way of defense for the Texans here, and I think they win the game going away. Texas minus 1.5 is the play. I do not feel good about it. This is a hunch. Kind of like Spencer has a hunch about the Jets. This is a hunch. The Texans are bad. But just when you bury them, they show up with a big win. Kind of like when they went to Baltimore and sent the Ravens packing in their own building, putting up a 40-burger. I could easily see that happening here again versus a embattled and beat down Niner defense.
All right, let's go to another game that just really tough to call for me. It's the New York Giants visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are minus 7.5. Eagles are pretty beat up, and the Giants, for the most part, are healthy. And there's guys on their injury list, but nothing that really sticks out to you. Brian Burns is questionable. I mean, that's a big deal for sure, no doubt. Right, playing back to the last game, I just think everyone's going to be thinking about that. Convention tells me everyone's going to be on the Giants, and so I'm going to go unconventional again. I feel like I'm setting myself up for a terrible week, but I'm going to go with my hunch. I'm going to keep going with my hunch. It helped me last week. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone's going to think that it's just going to be a throwback, but you're in Philadelphia. It seems like that was just such a gut-wrenching loss for the Giants. Normally that would reinvigorate a team or something that you want to go back and get it, but that's like the worst loss I've ever seen. I think it kind of takes the wind out of their sails. I mean, you like literally never see anything like that. I think it's just going to be too much for them to recover from. And I think that people think that the Giants are going to win this game. I think there's going to be a lot of money line on the Giants this week. And I think the sports books are just going to be eaten with this one. Everyone's like, oh, it's a touchdown, man. You get a full touchdown. And
7.5.
AJ Brown is out in this game. I think everything is going against the Eagles, and that's why I'm going to take them, actually. I don't love it, but it just feels like one of those games where it's just going to be the opposite of what people think is going to happen. And I know the line doesn't say that, but I think people's thought process is going to be what gets everyone going on the Giants, and then they have a stinker of a game, and the Eagles have like the statement win. Devontae Smith is playing, man, and he went crazy last week. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those, bets that you can regret easily, but I'm going to keep trusting my gut this week. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles minus 7.5.
How do you give up 33 points in the fourth quarter?
How do you do that?
That was one of the most disgraceful losses I've ever seen. Horrendous. So bad. I'm going to take the Giants plus 7.5. I'm going to take a shot at them because A.J. Brown is out. And before I even continue, the Eagles need to trade A.J. Brown. Okay? If you guys think you're winning another Super Bowl with this guy in your staff, you're crazy. It is becoming clear that A.J. Brown is more interested in having 200 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns than he is in having 3 catches for 50 yards and getting a win. It's clear, okay? The A.J. Brown you have on your team, the mentality of that player is the same guy that was in the Tennessee Titans, and that's why they got rid of him. And it's becoming like a Tyreek problem. Always in the press, constantly bitching. Not really that happy when you won a Super Bowl. Are you kidding me, man? You know how many people would die to win a Super Bowl? Would sell their wives, mothers, and kids to have a ring? And you're just like, yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I think his time in Philly is coming to an end, man. And how hurt is he? Trade deadline's next couple weeks. I mean, how hurt is he? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying where there's smoke, there's fire, but where there's smoke, there could be fire, man. There's quietly some problems with the Philadelphia Eagles this year. If I was to ask you right now, Spencer, what Saquon Barkley's yards per carry is, what would you say?
3.2? I don't know.
3.3 yards a carry for Saquon Barkley. Guys, he has not been it this year, man. He hasn't. I can name 10 running backs right now that are better than Saquon Barkley. This time last year, he was the MVP. Negative regression is inevitable. I told you all this. Now, he's still good, and they still have Hurts, and they still have the tush push, and they made both of us look like fools last week versus a decent Minnesota team at home. They won the game outright, but something tells me that the Giants are going to be in this game. They got the battering ram with they have Mike Allstott Jr. and Cam Scatterbo, man, which means you can run the ball. And they're going to try. Jackson Dart is good, man. He made one mistake last week that killed him, and it cost him the game. This is a division game. I don't necessarily fear the Eagles this year like I do last year, man. This team could easily have a couple more losses. When they played Kansas City, man, the Chiefs were in control of that game until Kelsey dropped that pass. Full control. I don't know, man. It's hard to go back. It just is. You just don't get back there. It's hard to go back. I saw Denver go in there and beat them outright. Rams had them dead to rights and let them off the hook. They haven't been this dominant team that everyone thinks they are this year. And so I'm going to take the Giants with a little confidence here simply because it is a division game and they have Scatterbo. And they can't let what happened last week happen 2 weeks in a row, can they? No, Philadelphia is a tough place to play, but you're New Yorkers, man. And the New York D-line is good. New York defense is better than advertised. They're going to go over that 5.5 win total for sure. That is a guarantee. I just wish they would have started Jackson, Dart, and Scatterbo earlier. And Tyrone Tracy's still there. You know what I mean? Bellinger. They got another tight end who's decent. Darius Slayton's going to play. I mean, he's not great, but that guy always seems to make a play here and there. Wan'Dale Robinson underneath. I could see them keeping this game closer than advertised. 7.5 is the play, man. I'll take it. I could see the Eagles winning this game by a touchdown. Take the Giants, not with a whole lot of confidence. I'm going to let my New York roots show here.
All right. Let's go to the sportsbook's favorite line this week, man. They love it. They can't get enough of this number. It's the Cleveland Browns going to New England. The Patriots are -7.5. I'm going to take the Browns. I think the Patriots have played some bad teams. I like the Patriots are good. Don't get me wrong. They're a good football team, obviously. They've been they're leading the division, 5-2. One of their losses was against the Raiders somehow. But I don't think the Browns necessarily going to win this game. But you know what, man? The Patriots are a turnover-heavy team. They turn the ball over a lot. And the Browns, that's like their specialty. I think this is like one of those games where they could be up by 14, and then you get a bad fumble, man, and the Browns are suddenly just like back in the game. You just see it on the red zone. The Browns can't get it past midfield, and then suddenly, whoa, big interception or Ramondre Stevenson fumble, and it's like now the Browns are in scoring territory. I don't know. I can like picture it in my mind like that happening, and so I don't love it, but it seems like Dylan Gabriel can run the team. I mean, I know they beat the Dolphins and they're terrible, but I just think that the Browns defense is good, and we've seen them consistently. It's not an anomaly. Every week they are bringing it, and so I think the Patriots have a bit of a weakness when it comes to that. When they play these staunch defensive teams, they can kind of get stagnated a little bit. I mean, I don't love the Browns. It seems like a lot of people are going to be on the Patriots in this one. I don't know. I'd like to see this Cleveland Brown team play a really good defensive game and see how close it can be. If I'm getting a full touchdown, I kind of like that. I'm going to take the Browns.
You're getting 7.5, son. I like the Browns too. New England is due for a stinker. They're due. They're a good team, but they're a flawed team. And this is what I know, man. Browns defense comes to play every single week. I could see a world where a couple turnovers happen here and the Browns are in this game. It wouldn't shock me to see the Browns win this game. Njoku is questionable, should be back. Him and Fannin underneath. I know Dylan Gabriel sucks, but you don't need much to cover 7.5 versus this Patriots team. It's not like they have scored a lot more this year with a lot more regularity, and that's about Drake May, and kudos to them. They've played well, man. But just like Spencer alluded to, I could also see a world where there's some turnovers here, man. I could see a world where that offensive line struggles with that Browns D-line. I mean, I told you guys last week that the Browns are going to murder Miami. How are the Browns scoring 30 plus? That's disgusting. You know what I mean? And so I feel like they're now cooking with something here with Dylan Gabriel. Everybody wants to see Shedeur Sanders, but after a 30-plus win, you're going to see Dylan Gabriel again, and let Quinshawn Judkins spin. They're going to give this boy the ball and let him go. Guys, he might be the most underrated running back in the entire league, and you don't talk about him that much because he got in trouble early on, and we kind of poo-pooed him off to the side and did the Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson thing. Man, it's this boy's time. This kid can ball. And the Browns O-line is decent. Control the clock, man. Keep it close. You know what I mean? And then see what happens. That's just too many points for me to lay. Styles make fights. These are very similar team. One is just a little bit better than the other because they got the better quarterback, but that's also a flawed team. They all have Vaseline on their hands in New England. They put the ball on the ground more than anyone. I like the Browns plus 7.5, and I like them with a decent amount of confidence here. I'm going to take them 2 weeks in a row, pull and pray.
Let's make our way over. It's the Chicago Bears. They're going to Baltimore to play the Ravens. I think this line just changed like right in front of my face, actually. I thought I saw 3. Lamar Jackson's playing in this game.
No, he's not. He just got ruled out.
Maybe that's why I moved the line then.
Yeah, he just got literally. It just came over. He just got ruled out.
That line flew fast.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know, isn't it? That's the only thing that you need to know about this game. They are trash without him.
they are, man.
They got nothing going without Lamar Jackson. And to be fair, for the most part, that you can say that about every team. When your team is so like you have like one of the top quarterbacks, it's just everything goes through him, and then he's not there. But their defense has been terrible.
I don't understand it. They got ballers all over that defense, man. I don't understand it.
They have struggled just every week. I mean, it's just the floodgates have opened for them. And I you know what? The Bears have benefited from a very injured, riddled schedule, but it's not like it's their choice, man. You play who's ever next on the slot, and it's happening again for them. I'd love to see the Raiders have a freaking schedule like the Bears, man. But Chicago's going to roll it up. I mean, their offense is doing just enough. You know, they've figured it out at least enough. You know, Caleb Williams has been okay, and I don't even think it really matters. Like whoever the hell the Ravens are playing without Lamar Jackson, they can't seem to compete with them, and I don't think it's suddenly just going to get figured out this week. I love this, man. +2.5 for the Chicago Bears. Playing in Baltimore is just nothing. It's just a vacation for some of these guys. There's nothing intimidating about playing in Baltimore at all. And what do the Ravens have to play for? They were all hyped about Lamar Jackson coming back. He ain't coming back this week. And now what? They're going to fall to 1-6. They're done. They're absolutely done. So I love the Chicago Bears.
They might be cooked. They might be. But styles make fights, man. And I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens minus the 2.5 here, believe it or not, man. And I'm going to do it for one reason and one reason only, okay? Because it's not Cooper Rush. It's Snoop. Snoop Huntley is back. And I've watched this kid look like Lamar in this very offense. I've watched him run this very offense as good as Lamar has in spots. I've seen it with my own eyes. And so, yeah, he's bounced around the NFL, but he's no stranger to this team because this was his first team, and this is where he, cut his teeth. Derrick Henry's still Derrick Henry. I don't believe in the Chicago Bears. I know what their record says, but they have 2 1-point wins, and they've won ugly a lot of the time versus bad teams. Now, I know this is a bad team, but this is a bad team at home, and this is a bad team full of weapons. Guys, they are full of weapons. The only player on their team that is hurt is their quarterback. Bateman's there. Henry's there. Andrews is there. Justice Hill is there. Who's that other little mighty mouse? Zay Flowers is there. Their whole defense is ready to mob. They're still filled with stars. Guys, this is what I know. And my buddy, shout out Tovar. My buddy Tovar says this all the time. And to me, it's just true. I know guys might go through tough stretches, but guys, ballers ball. Ballers ball. You cannot keep a baller from balling eventually. Like, Josh Allen's a baller. He might have a couple bad games, but eventually he balls. Dude, look at Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's telling me how this guy was washed. Guys, ballers ball. Situations happen. Things change. And I think that this is a situation where everyone's going to be on the Bears. Not everyone even knows that Snoop is going to start. You guys got to do your homework, man. This ain't Cooper Rush. Okay? And I think it's going to matter. I think it's going to matter a lot. And I see the Ravens winning this game, and I see them covering this game. And I feel so good about it, guys, that it is my best bet.
You're nuts.
I am nuts. But I have a +10 margin this year from being nuts. And I'm trying to push it to 15 now. My goal is to get 30 games over 500 by season's end, and I'm a third of the way there, and taking shots is what I do, because scared money don't make money here at World of Matchups. Ravens -2 6.5 on the backs of Tyler Huntley. Let's roll.
Wow. We'll go to another gross game, but again, the favorite line from the sports books this week. It's the Miami Dolphins. They're visiting the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are -7.5.
These 7.5 spreads all week, man.
Oh God, what a horrible line. This is one of those games that it's just going to be gross. It could be high scoring. I like the over in this game. I think it's just going to be like a gross nothingness. Michael Penix is probably out, I guess, for this game. Seems like Kurt's going to be playing. Boy. Atlanta's at home. I think that's all it's going to come down for me. I don't love it. I hate the Atlanta Falcons, man. Tyler Algier is also not looking too great in this one. That might be better for the Falcons. I don't know. I mean, Tyler Algier is good. Don't get me wrong, but that just means more touches for Bijan Robinson. I think that's probably for the best in a way. This guy's just so good. And it's like, how do you have any confidence in the Miami Dolphins to do anything?
None.
I just can't, in good conscience, bet on them. They hate each other. Everyone's depressed. You know, I don't even get that sense from the Raiders locker room. Like,
the Miami Dolphins locker room is the worst locker room in the NFL right now.
It's just like a high school gossip train now, dude. The guys are talking about each other on the podium, and Mike McDaniel looks like he's literally like a hollow shell of his former self. It's just the vibes are all off, man. And I don't like the Atlanta Falcons because they're just so confusing. But every time they play horrible, it's like now they score 40 points or something, you know. Kirk Cousins is probably going to be just so ready for this game, you know. It's a 10 o'clock game, no pressure. I mean, it's just like it's a good spot for him to come in, and he's fighting for his career. He's not going to play for the Atlanta Falcons much longer, but he's fighting for his life now. I mean, this is do or die for him. So I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm going to take the Falcons too, man. The Miami Dolphins are an unmitigated disaster. I tried to tell y'all last week. Hopefully you listened. They got nothing going on. Once your leader starts calling out players from the podium, the team is completely fractured. Tyreek Hill is gone. Mike McDaniels is nothing but a glorified social media head coach. Guy looks like a social studies teacher. Go sell insurance, because the NFL ain't for you. Darren Waller is now out. I mean, Jalen Waddle's all by himself. It's bad. Devon Achane is good, but they could stack the box against him. And the Atlanta Falcons play well at home, man. Their defense is better than advertised. And guys, here's the deal, man. You don't think Kirk Cousins has been waiting in the wings? You don't think he's been licking his chops to get back on the field and show everybody he can still play? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is old as dirt, and look what he's doing, dude. Kirk Cousins can play. Yeah, he went through a really bad stretch and got benched. He lost his job. He outright lost his job. But this is what I know, man. Kirk Cousins is a good dude. He's a good soldier. Shows up for practice. He'll hold his clipboard. Try to help Penix. And when he gets his chance, he's going to go back in there. And I can't think of a better team to go back in there and get fat on than the Miami Dolphins, who they're done, man. This team is so done. I mean, you want to talk about a team that has laid down and died. This is them. They should sell off whatever pieces they have left and start over. Jalen Phillips is going to get traded, probably to Kansas City. I can't wait to see that happen because they need DT help. They're just not a good football team, man. And Tua is an overpaid laughingstock. I'm sorry. They're not a good team at all. And in Atlanta, the Dirty Birds will be there. The fans will be galvanized. They're hanging around. I don't like the Falcons either. And this is a big spread, but I think they can cover it. I think Kirk Cousins' arm is still alive. And they have great weapons, man. Darnell Mooney can go long. They still have, Drake London, who is a beast. And less is more if Algier doesn't play, because I'm one of these people that feels like they don't feed Bijan enough, man. Bijan should be getting the McCaffrey treatment. What you saw Gibbs do Monday night, that's the treatment that they should give Bijan Robinson. And for whatever reason, Raheem Morris, they just don't do it, man. And they need to. And I think if they do it in this game, they can win this game by 4 touchdowns. The Miami Dolphins are complete buns and they're complete frauds. And anyone that bets on them, outside of them being at home getting points is a fool. I can't do it. Take the Falcons minus 7.5 with a boatload of confidence.
Yeah, I like that one too. Let's hop over a bit of a bizarre game. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to New Orleans. The Bucks are minus 3.5. It's a fairly short line in this one. And I know the Bucks they're beat up, man. They are. Chris Godwin's out. Bucky Irvin's out. Kalijah Cansey's obviously on IR still. Hassan Reddick is out. He's kind of been pretty decent for them, truthfully. And I've bet on the Saints a lot this season, man.
Me too.
They're playing at home.
Both of us have.
I can't do it this week for some reason. I feel like it's a bait line. And the Bucks, dude, they're gonna want to. They still have great weapons on offense. As crazy as that is to say, I like Kate Otten. I like Sterling Shepard.
Tez Johnson is a monster waiting to be unleashed, dude. They got players. They got players.
Fine.
Yeah.
And I just think the Bucks are a way better team than the Saints are.
Absolutely.
And Saints have played tough, man. But dude, if you want to talk tough, there is no one tougher than I think than the Bucks. I mean, I took the Lions last week and I won that bet, but I don't know, man. I think the Bucks have this one. I think they're going to blow them out. Actually, I think the wheels are going to start to fall off a little bit more for the Saints, man. I think that you just kind of see that where these teams are fighting hard, and then suddenly you look up and you're like 1-10, and like it just stops at some point. Like what you can convince yourself at 1-5, at 1-4 that you can do something, and then it's like when you're 1-9. What are you really fighting for at that point, And I think the Saints are going to hit a wall soon. This could be one of those games that I think that just tears it down for them. And you start seeing the Saints play worse and worse.
Saints have played with heart this year, man. You know what I mean? I thought they were going to be the worst team in the NFL, man. They've shown me some heart. Their coach has a job, man. And Spencer Rattler has a job. That boy has a job, dude. I told you guys, Spencer Rattler can play, man. He's got a job. You know what I mean? Now, Kamara's banged up, and everything behind him is either out for the year or just buns to begin with. So the running game scares me. I can't see Baker playing this bad 2 games in a row, man. I just can't. I mean, I think Baker Mayfield, in a big way, jumps back into the MVP conversation this weekend because both defenses are not good. They're just not good. And I like the over in this game a lot because the Saints can score them. The Saints they can light it up, man. The Saints have scores. They can't stop anybody. And so Bucks are the cupboard is just so empty, man. Everyone's out. Mike Evans' career might be over. Chris Godwin is done again. I mean, Mecca Ibuka, I mean, he's questionable to play, probably will play. But I like what's behind those guys too, man. Baker, this is the thing that I like. Baker trusts whoever's gonna get the ball. He's like, if I throw you the ball, I trust you're going to do the right thing with it. And, that's the mark of a leader. That's the mark of a leader. And I think they could do enough on the ground with Rashad White and Sean Tucker to win this game by more than 3.5 points. I really do, man. I mean, the Saints' defense is not good. They're not good. And they have, what, 1 win? They got 1 win for a reason. I mean, I can't see this as being the trap game a lot of people are going to think it is. I can't take that bait. I know they're home, and I know home dogs pay dividends, but this is Baker Mayfield coming off a loss. That's all you need to know. I would rather lose my money with him than bet the Saints and watch them get smacked around their own field and lose my money. Bucks minus 3.5 is the play.
All right, we're getting close here to the afternoon or to the end of these afternoon games. It's the Dallas Cowboys. They are going to the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are minus 3.5. I don't like the Broncos, man, if I'm being honest. I mean, I know they've had some good games, and they obviously had a pretty miraculous one last week, but it's another shootout, right? It's pretty much set in stone. I don't know, man. The Dallas Cowboys, they play tough. They can't lose this game by a field goal. I know the Dallas Cowboys are going to put up good points in this one. I mean, the Denver defense just hasn't been what we wanted it. I mean, wanted it. I hate the Broncos, but hasn't been what it has been built up to be. No doubt about it. And the pass rush is the strength of the Denver Broncos, and I don't know. I just I don't see that defensive line controlling this game entirely. Dak Prescott seems to be able to navigate the pressure pretty well this year, and they've scored a lot. The Dallas Cowboys could win this game. I don't like it, and I know the Broncos are 5-2, but they really shouldn't be. They should be more like 4-3. In fact, they really kind of should have lost that Jets game too. If the Jets just could get 20 yards or 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. I mean, I don't love this one. It's not my best bet or anything, but I just want to take the points here. Dallas can just score enough, and we've seen the Broncos just struggle at so many different points. And I don't know. I think this game could be pretty wacky. I don't know what's going to happen in this one, but I'll take the points in here, and especially because I'm getting the hook. I like the plus 3.5.
I'm taking the points too, man. This is a high-powered offense. This is a top 5 high-powered scoring offense in the National Football League, and I know that the defense is buns, but I'm not impressed with what the Denver Broncos are doing at all. A competent football team beats them last week in their building. To me, they play better on the road than they do at home. I think they're a tad overrated, quite frankly, and I know they're feeling themselves right now because they've gotten some nice wins, and then 33 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, there's what else is there to say? When they had to get it, they got it. And I don't see too many other teams doing that, but I feel like because of that, they might be ripe for the pickings here with a letdown. See what I did there? Because I think there's nobody on that defense that can guard Pickens and Lamb. I just don't believe that. That no-fly zone has been grounded as far as I'm concerned. What I saw last week, they're up 19-0. You know what I mean? The Giants are up 19-0 to you in your own building. I'm just not feeling what Denver's putting down anymore. I don't know. They're a very good team. They're well coached. Yes, they have a good defense, but teams that can score will give them fits here. And I think that Lamb and Pickens will have a big day. And don't sleep, man. This is the Javonte Williams revenge game. Give me these points, guys. Everyone's going to think that Denver's just going to roll here. I don't think so, man. Cowboys are one of those teams that everyone thought was going to just suck this year. Dude, they're not bad. Imagine them still having Micah Parsons and building off that. I think they made a huge mistake, man. Humongous mistake. And I think you're going to see their defense suck now for quite a while. Dak is having an MVP-type season too, man. That's another thing, man. Everyone wants to crap on Dak, but no one wants to give him his flowers when he's playing well. Guys, he's the reason they're winning. Seriously.
He's the only reason.
He's the reason that they win games right now. Dak is a good quarterback this year, man. I know in the past he has been suspect at times, but he has shown up this year, and you got to give him his flowers. Cowboys plus 3.5 is the play on my end, and I feel actually pretty good about it.
All right, it's the stink bowl here, man. It's the Tennessee Titans going to Indianapolis. It's a crazy line. The Colts are minus 14.5. I'm sorry, I'm not taking 14. I don't care if it's 14.5. It might be 14-0 by the end of the first quarter. Tennessee Titans are just trash. They still don't have Calvin Ridley. I don't even know what that's worth. Cam Ward's talking about is like doing play calls with the media. I mean, dude, it's just silly. It's really just kind of they're just showing up on Sundays because they have to. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And I know it's a division game, and sometimes things can get weird, but I don't know, man. The Colts are they're a well-oiled machine. You're talking about literally the opposite. The least oiled machine in the league versus the most well-oiled, and you're at home. There's not really much to say. The Tennessee Titans are trash. I'm not scared of 2 touchdowns. The Raiders are up 2 touchdowns on the Titans. The Raiders are the worst team, like one of the worst teams in the league. The Colts could blow them out. It could be like 24-0 by the end of the first half. I don't know, man. I like the Colts big time in this one.
So do I. I'm not a big spread, layer. The one big spread I laid this year at 14.5 came back to bite me, but I feel good about this one because the Colts aren't Green Bay. And I think Jonathan Taylor right now is in the MVP discussion. I mean, think about this, guys. Last year, Saquon had 5 touchdowns in 6 games, and he was leading the league for what would have been Offensive Player of the Year in the MVP votes. Jonathan Taylor has 12 touchdowns. 12. Jonathan Taylor's going to have 20 touchdowns this year. Easily. And I think he's going to have 3 more tomorrow. Because the Titans are buns, man. They're just playing out the string. No coach, no help for Cam Ward, no Calvin Ridley, no ancillary pieces, no defense. Tony Pollard's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. One of the most vanilla offenses in the entire league. Poor Jeffrey Simmons, because he's the only decent player on defense.
He's a Hall of Fame level player. I don't care what anybody
That guy
says.
could play
He's
on
that
my
good,
team
man.
any day of the week, man. I'll take
One of the
him
best in
right
the
now.
league.
One of the best in the league, and he's just wallowing away in Tennessee. They are absolutely horrendous. Colts should win this game going away. Jonathan Taylor should eat. Tyler Warren should eat. Daniel Jones should eat. Josh Downs should eat. Michael Pittman should eat. Everybody got to eat, and everyone's going to eat, because that is a horrendous Titans team on the other side. And I've picked them once this year, and they showed up for me on a miracle win, and I probably will not take them again this year because they're not good. They're this type of team that understands the assignment, unlike the Raiders and the Jets. They have their franchise quarterback, and now we're going to stink, and we're going to surround them with some players in the draft next year. And then next year, we're going to maybe win another game or two, but we're still going to stink, and we're going to build it up again. And then before you know it, they'll be good. At least they're doing it the right way. This ain't Cam Ward's fault. They're running into a juggernaut tomorrow. Colts are a very good team. Everyone talks about the Chiefs. Everyone talks about the Bills. Guys, it's time we talk about the Colts. You know, everyone's on the Chargers being these great juggernaut guys. The Colts are better than all these teams right now. They just
destroyed the Chargers.
They just are. They took the Chargers to class. That was a master class on how to lose a big game in your building. They destroyed the Chargers. I think the Colts don't get the credit they deserve. They're the surprise team of the year. They may have home field advantage as well, which means you're going to have to go to Lucas Oil Stadium, and it's going to be a sea of blue. It's going to be a tough place to win a playoff game. And if they keep this up, man, who knows what can happen, because if you can run the ball like Jonathan Taylor's running the ball, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. I mean, you literally have seen the resurgence of the career of a guy nobody wanted, literally because they can run the ball, stop the run, and play good defense. They don't ask Daniel Jones to win games. They just ask him not to lose them. And he's got weapons galore. They win this game by 3 touchdowns. Easy win for the Colts here, and I think they cover no problem. I can see this being a 40-point explosion by the Colts here. I don't trust Tennessee anywhere. Guys, don't be scared to lay this 14.5, okay? The Titans are garbage.
It's bait. Let's go Sunday Night Football. And it's a tough one, man. It's one of those games that you kind of just want to enjoy watching. But the Packers are -2.5. They're in Pittsburgh. I'm not a big Packers fan this year. I think everybody is gonna be on the Packers. Steelers played a bad game last week, but they do that, dude. That is just like their MO, where they just some random quarterback in an in-division game. Ryan Mallett did it like all those years ago, where he signed up off the street for the Ravens, and then he went and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is just a mark of their team. I don't know if they play that bad 2 weeks in a row. I think they're going to have a lot of turnovers in this game, and I think you see a kind of a bad game from Jordan Love. This isn't my best bet or anything like that. I like points at home by the half if you like it. I could also see the Green Bay Packers just destroying Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers had played a good game. And so really all they need is their defense to make some plays. Their defense made no plays. Nothing. They didn't do jack in that game against the Bengals. Can they play that bad 2 weeks in a row? Is there a block punt in this game that the Steelers can get? You know, that's all they really need. I don't think the Packers are just going to come in and just style on them, you know? I know they could, and I know Josh Jacobs could just have like a big game or something. I don't know. Something just tells me, hey, it's prime time in Pittsburgh. They're at home. It just seems like kind of those games that the Steelers just win. They just find a way to win. and they're gonna bounce back from last week, and you're just not gonna know what to get out of the Steelers. It's every week. You just like, what the hell what are the Steelers?
Yeah.
And you never know, and you won't know until they get blown out in the first round of the playoffs, like they always do. VC, it feels that way. At least I'm gonna take the Steelers, I guess.
I'm taking the Steelers plus 2.52. Home dogs, under the lights, plus points, pay dividends. Aaron Rodgers has been very good this year, and I mean, I've watched this Green Bay defense give up a lot of points. Okay, I've watched them be in games they shouldn't be in. I mean, last week, them getting covered on versus the Arizona Cardinals is disgusting. Dallas threw a 40 on them. They're good, man, but like, it's just something about what I think is going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to revert back to what they do best. They're throwing a little bit more this year because of Rodgers, and I think they're going to try to grind this one out. You're going to give me points at home, man. I think DK Metcalf is still solid. It's amazing that they're winning with nobody behind him, really. I think the key in this game is going to be the tight ends. I see Pat Freiermuth having a pretty big game here versus Green Bay. I could see it, man. I could see Tucker Kraft having a big game versus that defense in Pittsburgh as well. But at the end of the day, I think that Pittsburgh wins this game outright. I do. I think that Josh Jacobs is a little banged up. I don't think Jordan Love is as good as people think he is. They got all these weapons, man. Like, where are the numbers, bro? You know what I mean? Like, Christian Watson may come back, may not. If Christian Watson doesn't come back in this game, man, his career might be over. I mean, this guy's always hurt. I like Dobbs. Anytime touchdown's one of my favorite bets this week. Romeo Dobbs, anytime tutty. I love that this week. Because anytime they score, it seems like he's the guy, man. They trust him more than anybody. But they're also mixing a lot of guys, man. Jaden Reed's going to be out for another 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6 to 8. Give me the Steelers at home in the terrible towels, man. They play tough. They'll be in the game. They're going to show up. Watch. I could definitely see Watt having a big presence felt under the lights. It seems like anytime it's a primetime game, man, that guy does something big to impact the game, and I see it coming here. Steelers plus 2.5 with a lot of confidence.
Last game, it's Monday Night Football. It's the Commanders are going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 11.5. I don't know, man. Commanders they're just cursed. They just played too well last year, and it's been bad for them. They brought in all these extra pieces, and now Jaden Daniels can't get on the field. Marcus Mariota, we always just say he's just going to come in and figure it out. He only looked good against the Raiders. Everybody does. It's impossible to look bad against the Raiders unless you're the Tennessee Titans. I don't think this is just some game where the Washington's going to look good and keep it close. I really think the Chiefs are, and you can throw away last week's game against the Raiders and just look at the Chiefs like that. But I don't know, man. The Chiefs are pretty healthy right now. I mean, not completely. I know they're missing a lot. Josh Simmons is questionable for something. I don't know.
He's not going to play.
So that's tough. But other than that, you got your full offensive weapon set. And that's really good. I think it's enough, man. I just don't think Washington can keep up. I don't see the way that they do. They haven't even looked good at all at any point this year. We thought the Packers, we were gassed up on the Packers because we were comparing them against Washington to start the year. And now we've seen the rest of the season, and it's like, is there anything going on here? Dallas blew them out, obviously. Why can't the Chiefs do that? Why is it going to be any different? What's the difference? Chiefs are going to score a bunch of points in this game. Is Marcus Mariota going to keep up? No. I can see this being like 30-something to 17. Like a 17-point win for the Chiefs at home. Even if it was in Washington, I don't even know if I'd care. So yeah. I like the Chiefs in this one.
Me too. I was wrong to think that the Raiders could have covered last week. And the funny thing is that Andy Reid called the dogs off. I mean, that was the most gentlemanly fourth quarter I have ever watched in NFL history. I mean, Chiefs could have scored 50. They sat everybody, man. They called the dogs off. And the Chiefs are getting their swagger back here, man. It isn't a bad spot for Washington without Jaden Daniels. It just is. I mean, Debo will be back. McLaurin will be back. So, there'll be weapons there for them. Little Bill will do his thing, I suppose. But you are really seeing what has happened where inserting Rashee Rice into this team's chemistry, what it does for Kansas City. Guys, the light show is back, man. It's back. This is scary for the rest of the league, man, because the Chiefs are now scoring 30 again. Before, they struggled to score 20, and their defense is what they were really hanging their hat on. Now it's switching to where, like, offense is lighting it up, and we're just asking the defense to make a couple plays here. I think it will kind of even out as the season goes along. And I don't want to say this is a tune-up for Buffalo. This is another good spot. This is the third game in their longest homestand of the year, and it's under the lights. This is what I know, Spencer, and I've been saying this since you met me. Patrick Mahomes under the lights. I don't care if they're minus 100. Patrick Mahomes under the lights. Patrick Mahomes is determined to make y'all eat your words. Determined. You could see it in the way he plays. He does not care about anything except winning. Nothing. His mindset is, I'm going to win at all costs. They're pulling out trick plays at the line. I mean, it's just disrespectful what they're doing. And I just don't think that Washington's going to be able to keep up. I just don't. I mean, you've got guys that are going to take safeties down the field, and so Kelsey and Rice and Hollywood will eat underneath. And then if they bring the two high safeties up, then all of a sudden Worthy and they're just running by you. How do you defend this offense now? This literally might be the best wide receiver room in the NFL. And then when you forget about all of them, man, all of a sudden Kelsey shows up. And now Pacheco's starting to play a little bit better. I don't know, man. I think this Chiefs team, man, might have been buried a little bit too soon, you guys. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. You'd be silly to think that they're not going to go deep in the playoffs. They're just going to get better and better every week. And if they get Buffalo, if they get the Buffalo win at Highmark Stadium to send that stadium packing and then hit their bye, Chiefs might win a whole bunch of games in a row here. They might. And I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again because I think it bears repeating. Now is the time to bet on Kansas City to win the division. Because they're doing it from behind, so you're going to get plus money. It's going to be a good payout for you. Bet the Chiefs to win the division. Bet the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I got to slip for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. You're going to make big money right now because no one's really thinking they can. But after Monday night, there'll be no questions left. There'll be no doubt. Like Nick Wright likes to say, leave no doubt. I think they murder the Commanders personally. I do. I think they win this game by 17 points, 34-17 final. And watch out, man, because the best coach and the best quarterback in the league are now cooking with gas. I'm looking at this game, and I expect a big, big, big stand from this defense. I need to see Chris Jones make plays. I need to see George Karlaftis make plays. I need sacks. And if they start getting their defense on the same level as their offense, I don't care who they play. One time to win for the marbles, I think they could do it again. And I know Josh Simmons is out. It's been mentioned, Spencer, that he's taking care of his mother. I think she's ill. We didn't get any specifics. I don't know if she's like shot or diabetes or had a stroke. No one knows. But he's in California taking care of his mom. He'll be back probably after the bye. But in his absence, man, Jalen Moore has been fantastic. I mean, Brett Veach, boy, this is a great move. They bring this guy in. He's a starting level caliber player. As a career backup, he's looked fantastic. And now that Mahomes doesn't have to worry about getting killed from his blind side, you see, I mean, they're doing whatever they want. The last 3-4 games now, I'll take out the Jacksonville Jaguar games. Since then, this offense has done whatever they've wanted on the field. They're humming. I mean, you even forget about guys like Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, it's a bevy of riches. It's ridiculous. And so I'm pretty galvanized again as a fan. Not that I wasn't before, but now I'm seeing what I think they could have been. It's happening. And I expect them to do it on Monday Night Football. Under the lights, I'm never betting against Mahomes. Never. I'm never going to do it. I will go down with him every single time. That's the slate. Short week 8, but it'll be a good one. I hope you guys are doing well. As always, we want to end the show reminding you that we do this for fun. Couple bucks here, couple bucks there. Because nobody wants to be homeless in today's society, and we would expect you to heed that warning. If gambling is an issue for you, gamblersanonymous.org is a real thing, so please don't take it lightly. Don't lose your wife, don't lose your children, don't lose your home over a game. It ain't worth it. On behalf of World of Matches, my name is Dexter Reid. That is Spencer the Wiz. And we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the games.
See you guys.
Great job, bro.